All right, areas of circles and sectors. It's basically the same thing that we just did with circumference and arc length, except now we're talking about area. All right, when it talks about a sector of a circle, this highlighted part right here, that would be a sector. But also all of this white part right here, that would be another sector. So every time we do these, we're going to have the small one and then the big one. Small sector and the big sector. All you need to have a sector is 2 radii. If you have that, you got a sector in between them. All right. We should be able to do these right here, plugging numbers in the formula. The area formula for a circle is pi r squared. So all you need to do is do pi r squared for each one of these 2. All right, so for both of these, I'm going to use the same formula. Remember, circumference, we had the 2 different formulas. You don't have that for area. Area's got one formula only. So I'm going to do pi times 7 squared, 153.9. All right. When I come to the second one over here, again,
divide that by 2.
It's the same formula. So when they give me diameter, I've got to divide that by 2,
8.5,
and then plug that number in.
You'll get 227.
All right. If it gives me the area, I'm going to take that number and plug it in for A. Now I want to find R, which means I've got to get rid of the pi on that side of the equation. So this is pi times r squared, so I'm going to divide by pi. So somebody tell me that number, 217 divided by pi.
69.1.
All right, so I get 69.1, but that equals r squared.
So you square root.
So then I've got to take the square root of that.
And that's going to be 8.3.
To get my final answer of 8.3. All right, do those other 2. All right. Second one, I'm going to say A equals pi r squared. 65 is my A. Plug that in for that spot. Divide by pi. 65 divided by pi is, no,
20.7.
20.7. But that equals r squared. And then I square root that.
And then you're get 4.
And then I get the 4.5. All right. Come to the last one over here. Everything's the same. I'm going to say 129 equals pi r squared divided by pi. What is that?
41.1.
And that equals r squared. So I divide, or excuse me, square root.
That's going to be 6.4. And then multiply that times 2.
But 6.4 here is my r. And I want to find diameter. So I say 6.4 times 2.
And that's 12.8.
And get 12.8 for the diameter. All right, this stuff should be very familiar. It's basically the same formula as before. It's just now we're talking about area instead of circumference. So basically take out the 2 pi r stuff we had, put in the pi r squared. It's the same formula. What was the top part of the other one? Right here, when we did the circumference and arc length. What? Nope. It was arc length over 2 pi r. Small length, total length. Well, this is going to be the small area, the area of the little part, and pi r squared is the total area. Degree still goes over 360, that part hadn't changed. If it specifically asks for area of a sector, I'm going to do this one right here. If it says what's the area of the sector, I'm doing degree over 360 times pi r squared. If it's asking for anything else, I'm going back to the proportion at the top. All right, so area of a sector is the bottom one. Only do it for that. Anything else, we're doing the top one. All right, it's asking me to find the area of both sectors. So on the area of a sector, I'm going to do degree over 360 times pi r squared. If we're going to do that, get out. No.
Your pencil ran out.
Degree over 360 times pi r squared. So what is my degree for the RS part? So that's going to be 63 over 360 times pi 5 squared. Somebody tell me what that is. Somebody. So there's this first one, 13.7. Now when I go to the second one, the area of the RPS part, what is the degree for RPS?
RPS.
360 minus 63.
I'm going to take that 63 and say, well, 360 minus 63.
297.
So the area, or excuse me, the degree for that one is 297 over 360 times pi 5 squared. And that one is
64.8.
all right. So that's all you got to do for area of a sector. You're going to do degree over 360 times pi r squared. Make sure you use the radius if it gives you something else. But that's it. So every area of a sector problem is going to be set up that way. If we had learned the arc length ones, we're doing the same thing. We're just changing the part of the formula for the, instead of 2 pi r, we're doing pi r squared. All right, so here I would say area of the AB part would be 106 over 360 times pi 9 squared, and the answer is
74.9.
all right. Then when I go to the area of the ACB, the bigger one, I'm going to do 360 minus 106, 254. Plug that in.
179.5.
Are there any questions or problems doing area of a sector? Should be very, very easy.
Today,
All right, for this one, it's asking me to find the area of the whole circle. So what I do in this case, since I'm finding the A, I need to realize that pi r squared is area. Take the pi r squared out, put the A in. Where is the area of the sector part going to come from? The little outside area part that they give you. So that's got to be 22 over A. And then the degree always goes over 360 every single time. If you ever see a degree, it's over 360. It's just a matter of you doing the proportion of the other one.
40 times A is 45A.
22.
Y'all, we don't need all that. So we've got 45A. Y'all, stop. 22 times 360. What is the 22 times 360? 7,000. So we get 45, or divide by 45 on those, and wind up with 176. Are there any questions on that one? All right, same process. I'm going to do the area of the sector over pi r squared, degree over 360. The area of the sector is my 6.4. I'm going to take out the pi r squared and put in A because those are the same thing. Degree always goes over 360. Do my cross multiplying. What is the 6.4 times 360?
2,300.
Then divide by the 80.
28.8.
28.8. What do you think we're going to do here when it says find the radius?
We're going to find
You're going to do the area.
Find the area
And
first.
then place the pi r squared.
And then use the pi r squared formula to find the radius. So do this one, start it just like the last one. Find area first. All right, I'm going to start by finding the area. So area of the sector is 12.7. Pi r squared is my total area. Degree is 105. Always goes over 360. Cross multiply 105A, 12.7 times 360, which is what?
4,572.
72. Divide by the 105 then.
43.5.
So my area for this whole circle is 43.5. I take that area and then say, well, if that's my area, so 43.5 equals pi r squared. Divided by pi. What is that?
13.8.
So there's my r squared. Square root that. 3.7.
Yes, sir.